What up, my dudes? Crashes on top of crashes on top of crashes, bro. So, we got us a little recap video on the Orlando 2 2021 Supercross race. So, I know some of you guys have been enjoying some of these recap videos, so I'm going to keep on doing them, bro. I see you in the comments. I see you. Keep commenting on the videos. I definitely look at it and, you know, pick the kind of videos I'm going to make next off of that and stuff like that. So, just letting you know, I do actually do that. But either way, so, yeah, let's start with the 250 main event. Wow, what a first lap. Holy crap, dude. Both of the Martin brothers literally down hard enough to be injured in the very first lap of the 250 main event. So, with Jeremy Martin's situation, what a heartbreak, right? God dang, dude. It's just like first corner of the championship, and he's already down and injured and couldn't race in the main event, and now he's out for the title again. Oh my God. Everybody's wanting to see him really, you know, put it together with that Star Yamaha again and shit like that. And it's like, damn, dude. But what I do want to say about that situation where it was Styles Robertson that, you know, came around and actually landed on him, I really think that was actually more of Jeremy Martin's fault, to be completely honest with you, because they were coming around that first corner and everybody around Jeremy Martin was jumping that little, like, double in right there. And for whatever reason, Jeremy Martin just didn't, like, pull the trigger on it right there out of that first corner, and he kind of, like, did, like, a single, and everybody in front of him and beside him was jumping that. So, you know, I don't really feel like it was all that much Styles Robertson's, you know, fault in that sense. I think it was definitely leaning more on, you know, Jeremy Martin. I mean, with how much time he's had in the Supercross division at this point, I would have expected him to have, you know, jumped that double, to have known, you know, had the kind of awareness to know he needs to jump that double to not get landed on right off the jump. But, no pun intended there, but, you know, I don't know. Either way, super heartbreaker. And then, like, literally 2 corners later, his brother goes down, and they have to red flag the race. Totally had to restart the entire 250 main event. It looks like both of them are pretty bad hurt. I don't know for sure the specifics. Kind of look like Jeremy Martin might have broke his collarbone or tore his shoulder out of place or something. Then it looked like Alex Martin might have done something to his back. I'm not really sure. So then they restart the race, right? And you had Jordan Smith went down. Seth Hammaker went down. Damn, it just seemed like there was so many of them in those heat races and LCQ. This 250 class is crazy, bro. Like, it's stacked, but it's stacked in a very weird way. It's stacked in a way of, like, a shitload of, you know, people that's still pretty new to the 250 class, like dudes that just got in there last year, and then also brand spanking new rookies, you know, coming out of the amateur program that are on these super top tier teams. So you got, like, you know, a shitload of these super fast amateurs and dudes that's been in there for like 1 year, a lot of new names in there, right? But it's making it kind of exciting because you got a lot of dudes, like, gunning for the title, like, gunning for that first win, you know, type situation. They're all out there to prove something, you know what I mean? So it makes it really fun to watch. But I was really impressed with Garrett Marchbanks, man. He's on that Club MX. You know, he got kicked off the Kawasaki team. He went out there and got a third, dude. Got a podium. That was awesome. It's definitely making some of those teams scratch their head right now, for damn sure. It would not shock me at all for one of these teams to pick up Garrett Marchbanks, you know, pretty soon here. I mean, dude won Daytona last year. He's still very new into this whole thing. He literally won Daytona last year. Then he comes in first race on more of a B-tier type team with the Club MX team and gets a fucking podium. Like, come on now. I mean, you can't deny that right there, man. When you can come back in there on a brand spanking new team, B-tier team like that, and get a third, come on, man. Like, if he would have still been on Kawasaki, he easily could have won that race. If he'd have still, still been on that same program, he easily could have won that main event. But like I say, I think one of these teams is going to pick him up. Yeah, Justin Cooper with the win. That's not really super shocking there. He's been there for a minute now. Cameron McAdoo in second, so that's pretty solid for him. Yeah, that's about the 250 race. Crashes everywhere. Dudes like Mumford, good Lord, what a shitty situation. He's with that Honda team all the way through the amateur program, gets to the pro level, and then the Geico Honda team shuts down. So now he's just like back to this like Z-tier type Honda team that he's on now. And he didn't even make it to the main event. Mumford just straight up didn't make it to the main event. Ty Masterpool didn't make it to the main event. A lot of those dudes like Tyler Fry, who the hell else am I? Nate Thrasher. Some of them boys were pretty far back in the main event, so they're gonna have to figure their shit out pretty quick. But I mean, right away, basically Jeremy Martin, Alex Martin, Jordan Smith, all those dudes right there are pretty much out of the title right there first round, because these 250 class titles are so short that, if you miss an entire race, like, you're pretty much not going to win the title, period. So, either way, let's move to the 450 class, right? So, Cianciarulo gets the whole shot. I think he's finally going to get his win this year. And he kind of is going through his struggles with that. Gets passed by Webb. I thought they was going to have a pretty good battle. And then Cianciarulo literally has like the most slow motion endo in the whoops that I've ever seen in my life. And he flips over. Roxon got a shitty start for the first time this season. He catches up to Tomac, which also got a pretty shitty start, but that's not a surprise at all. And Roxon got right on the back of Tomac. And then he kind of got caught up behind Tomac. If you ever really thought of Tomac being much of a roadblock before, he kind of was in this race, man. He really was. It is just weird. I don't know what's going on with Tomac. I just recently made that video, what's going on with Tomac, right? And don't get me wrong, like, Tomac's a fast dude, right? Like, whenever I said slow Mac and all that shit, obviously I'm just fucking around, right? I'm just joking around. Tomac should be the fastest guy out there, right? He should be winning all these races for how fast he's been, in the past. But for whatever reason this year, man, he's now, 6 races without a win? That's the longest he's went since 2016. So he is struggling this year. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, or no way around it. Like, he is struggling. And he went backwards from where he started. Okay? He literally went backwards. Roxon went around him. And then Roxon kept going forward. Well, actually, no, he didn't, because he couldn't get around Barsha. But Tomac just fell off at that point. Like, it wasn't like Tomac started coming back through. I know a lot of people got this opinion that, well, you just can't pass people this season because everybody's the same speed and, whatever. But it's like, shit, Tomac's literally going backwards. Anderson passed Tomac. Roxon and Anderson passed Tomac like midways through the race. So it's not like Tomac's like just, oh shit, well, that's just the way it is now. You can't really, come up through the field. Like, no, dog. Tomac's having some struggles. I don't know if it's the bike. I don't know what the deal is, but he is struggling. He's got to be 30-something plus points now behind Roxon. He's not going to win the title. I'm just telling you right now, unless Roxon has a devastating crash, which then at that point Webb's probably going to win it, because I think Webb's only like 6 points back now. But Tomac's pretty much out of this thing, dude, completely. Like, he can go win Daytona. He can go win all those Atlantonas. And, I mean, it's going to have to be like Roxon and Webb are going to have to be getting like 5ths or worse multiple races in a row, and Tomac winning those multiple races in a row for it to even be like even be in the conversation of Tomac still being able to win this title. But either way, so Webb's starting to get it together. He definitely starting to get it together, which it's kind of interesting, boys, if you don't know my little predictions before the season, right? First thing I said, I didn't think Tomac was going to do it again. It's starting to look like that, right? And then the second thing I said was, I think it's either going to be Cianciarulo, Webb, or Osborne that wins the title. And I didn't actually know that Cianciarulo only had 10 days on the bike before the series whenever I made those predictions. So had I known that, I would not have, kind of bet on Cianciarulo winning the title. But I did basically bet on, Cianciarulo, Webb, and Osborne. I thought it was going to be one of those three, and it's looking like Webb's got a chance at it now. But Roczen's riding crazy good, like probably the best we've seen him as far as for a championship type, situation. He's riding for that title, dude, But it'll be interesting to see if this is the first real race that we've seen Roczen kind of get a little bit bad of a start, but he catches all the way up to fourth. If he didn't get caught up there behind Tomac, I think he would have gotten around Barcia and he would have got a podium. He wouldn't have lost very many points there, but Webb's not been super consistent way up there in the front like that, right? So it's kind of one of those things. They're kind of going back and forth now. Roczen's pretty much been the only one that's been like consistently up there, but Webb's starting to gain a little bit of momentum, and we'll see kind of how that all plays out once they get to like Daytona and some of these other tracks like that. I think Tomac's going to do better on some of those, obviously, but man, I just think Tomac's basically out of it this year already. So either way, my predictions are starting to play out pretty damn good. Like I'm saying, yes, I did, kind of predict on Cianciarulo a little bit, but I had no idea that he only had 10 days on the bike before this season. Had I known that, I would not have bet on Cianciarulo at all. But, basically my main bet was that Tomac wasn't going to do it, and that it was either going to be Cianciarulo, Webb, or Osborne that was going to win the title. So, I may end up being pretty damn right on that part of it. So, either way, man, that's about the, Barcia's doing a little better, right? He kind of went down a little slump. Now he's doing a little bit better. You got Muscan there in second. Tomac is just not... He's just not got the aggression. He's not got that amazing ride like we normally see. I've not seen that at all this year out of Tomac. I've not seen that, shock me like dudes on a fucking rocket. Like I've just not seen that this year at all. And I've seen that in pretty much like at least 3 or 4 races every single season the past 3 years. He has that ride where he can come back from 10th to 1st or, something. He just looks like he's just not even, he's either not comfortable enough on the bike. You saw him kind of have that little slip up where he come out of that rut out of that corner and nearly racked his sack. I think he did rack his sack, which might have made him slow down a little bit for the rest of the race, right? Sometimes when they kind of high side the bike a little bit, but then they catch themselves, they kind of, smack their crotch up on the top of the bike. That might have been what happened to him there. It kind of knocked the, knocked the juice out of him a little bit. I'm not sure. But he just don't look quite as, and he's had some, he crashed, slid down the front, in the front of one of the previous races. He just don't look like he's as, that next level aggression. He just looks kind of more like everybody else now, right? He doesn't look like that Eli Tomac, better than ever, faster than ever, more aggressive than everybody else like he normally looks. He just looks like everybody else now, right? He's only got 1 win this season so far, and we're halfway through it. So that's pretty light for Tomac's normal win ratio. You know what I'm saying? Shit's pretty light, dude. So either way, that's basically the recap. Crashes everywhere. It's going to be a lot of fun watching this 250 West series here. Got a lot of cool new dudes in there. Fast dudes. Dudes hanging it out. It's going to be really cool to watch that. I think Hunter Lawrence got 5th, so that was pretty good for him. Yeah. I'm real impressed with Marchbanks. He needs to keep that shit up, and he'll have a good ride pretty soon. But either way, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dude.